Hi Warriors, it's Melissa with Mental Muscle Wellness, and I have a really simple video coming at you today. Let's talk about how to properly engage our cores. So whether you are an avid strength trainer, whether you participate in yoga or Pilates or just about any other type of movement, the majority of exercises will always start with a cue to engage your core. This is critical because our core, first and foremost, is actually much more than just our abdominal muscles. Our core is actually our abdominal muscles, our pectoral muscles, and then everything in our back. So all of our low back extensors, as well as our latissimus dorsi right here. So essentially it's all of the large muscles in the chest. Certain authorities will also include the hip flexors and the glutes as part of core. But my point that I'm trying to make here is that your core are the large muscles in the middle of your body, and they serve a really important function beyond just keeping us standing upright. They're actually the transfer station between the force and the power that we're able to generate in our legs and what we're able to do with our upper body. So particularly if you've ever played a sport, golf, baseball, tennis, etc., 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 everything that you do and create with your upper body actually starts with your legs. And how effective and efficient that movement is has to do with how effectively and efficiently your core muscles actually transfer those forces. So, to properly engage our core, we typically want to think of squeezing as many muscles as we possibly can in that midsection, as close to the middle line of our body as we possibly can. So I have a couple of cues to do this. Commonly, you'll hear people say, again, squeeze everything to the bone. Common, particularly in yoga or Pilates vernacular, is to pretend that you're wearing a corset and that it's squeezing you in tight. I like those for visuals, but I think there are a couple of other cues that are really effective, especially for different body positions. So from a simple standing or seated position, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that whatever your support on the floor is, in this case I'm standing, so it's my feet, are even and balanced. So in other words, you want your feet nice and square underneath your hips, okay? And you want to feel your body weight in each foot relatively equally. If you're sitting, that will apply to your sit bones underneath your hips. You want to make sure that you're even and that you can feel your weight equally on both of those sit bones. From there, what you want to do is you want to picture that you have a string tied to the base of your spine, and that the string is going to follow your spinal cord all the way up your body and out the crown of your head, okay? So another common misconception is that the crown of our head is not actually the top in the front right here. It's actually the back. So I have a ponytail today. The crown of your head is essentially where my ponytail is sitting, okay? But you want that string to come. You want to picture that it's coming out the top of your head, and as it does, it's pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. So if you're doing this properly, you can place your hands in between the top of your hip bone and the bottom of your ribs. If you're doing the string imagery properly, what you should feel is that your shoulders come down, your chin drops, and again, the crown of your head, that back rounded portion, comes up towards the ceiling. And as that happens, you should feel this middle section of your abdominals pull in and backwards towards your spine, okay? You should also feel, again, as your shoulder blades drop in the back, you should feel that they sort of come in and down, almost like a ladybug when it's closing its body after it's been flying for a little while, okay? So again, this imagery is really useful if your shoulders and your hips are square. or pointing in the same direction, okay? If you are in a twisted or a rotated posture, meaning that your shoulders and your hips are not facing the same direction, like I am now, the easiest way to picture, again, that pulling and squeezing that we want to have happen in our core is to find your belly button. And you want to picture that there's a fish hook inside your body, right behind your belly button. And as you rotate your shoulders and hips away from each other, that fish hook pulls your belly button in towards your spine, okay? So again, if you place your hand in between the top of your hip bones and the bottom of your rib cage, as you do that twisting motion, if the imagery is working for you, you'll feel that same tightening in your abdominals. You'll feel that same drop in your shoulder blades across the back as you will with the string imagery. Once you're there, essentially that's what an engaged core should feel like. You should feel like you are strong and tall, and at the same time that you're almost coiled up like a spring, that you're ready for action. And again, being that your core muscles are the transfer station between the muscles in your legs and what's happening in your upper body, that's exactly how you want to feel. That's your body telling you it's primed and ready for movement and motion. I hope this was helpful, and until next time, be well, friends.